Boys, I just want to explain once again about nature of roots. So this is a quadratic equation. This is a quadratic formula to finding roots. However, if we don't have interest to finding the exact values of roots, and we just consider have interest to know about the nature of roots, we don't need to calculate the exact value from roots. We just use this. We call this as discriminant from the quadratic formula. We calculate the values here, then we understand the nature of roots. So, for example, if we have a quadratic equation, for example, like 2x squared plus 3x minus 4 equals to 0. So, if we would like to know the nature of roots without we don't really need to find the roots, okay? We just want to know the nature. So we use delta. Then we know it's b squared minus 4ac. So after calculating 14, that means 16 times 2, 32, and delta equals to 41. So because it is greater than 0, so we know there are two distinct real roots. Okay, there should be two roots of this equation. So if we use this idea, then we don't actually, you can check. For example, I substitute 2, 3, negative 4. So the discriminant I calculate. So you know the first root and second root, they are different values, so match our conclusion. So we didn't find out the exact roots because we only want to understand the nature. Okay, but usually we don't try to do like this. In typical example from public exam, we because we can solve, so we don't use delta. From public exam, maybe usually like this. For example, k minus 1 x squared plus 3x minus 10 equals to 0. If this equation has real roots, then what is the values of k? Okay, so before I start, remember it is a quadratic equation. Make sure you know this part a must not equal to 0, so must not equal to 1. Keep in mind, if you find at last you know about the values of k equals to 1, you have to reject the answer because it cannot be 1. So now I know about the nature has two roots, has real roots. So is it these two roots are distinct? That means different roots values or the same? Because we don't know exact is one real double roots or distinct. So usually in this situation we said, but we know it has real roots, therefore the discriminant will be greater or equal to 0. So then we substitute b squared minus 4ac. Oh, should be what is the range? Okay, then you just perform inequality. 40 plus, so 40k. Now I do it faster. You can do it at home. So 40k greater than negative 40 plus 9, so 31. And k is greater or equal to 31 over 40. And not equals to, and k not equals to 1. Okay, so we can find the range already. And this is the quite typical thing. You know about the nature, then we will make use of discriminant to set the situation. Then you do it like this. Okay, so I remember for nature of roots, we have at least 3 things. So an equation either greater than 0, 2 distinct real roots, or 1 repeated. roots or no real roots. Either one of the cases, okay, from these three cases. So if you don't know, let's see the prefix. If you don't know really the nature, if the question asks you has real roots, that means you don't know is one repeated or two distinct, so you said like this. Okay, get it?